Good morning, class 12. This is subject business studies, chapter 7, directing, and lecture number 2. Dear students, as you know, in our last lecture we have read about directing and its elements. That was supervision, motivation, leadership, and communication. So in this lecture we shall study about characteristics of directing. So let's start our chapter. See, direction implies issuing orders and instructions. So the top management gives broad direction to the middle manager, who in turn gives specific directions to the lower level management. They are saying top management is responsible for the action of middle management, and definitely middle and top management both are responsible for the action of lower management. So top management gives the direction to middle level management, and middle level management gives the direction to lower level management, so that the work decided by the top level management should be done at proper time. Fine. So the four important aspects of directing are supervision, motivation, leadership, and communication. Fine. These all are the elements of directing, that is supervision, motivation, leadership, and communication. We have read about it in our last lecture. So let's go for characteristics of directing. Directing has got following characteristics, like number one, pervasive function. As you all know, pervasive means present everywhere. So directing is the function that is required at all level of organization. Every manager provides guidance and inspiration to his subordinates. How? Through directing. Every manager has to direct his subordinate through guidance and inspiration. Fine. So that his subordinate should feel free to discuss their problem with their superior, and superior should also understand their problem and solve that in a particular manner. So basically directing is a pervasive function. It present everywhere. So every action in the organization is initiated through directing only. Directing guides towards the achievement of common objective. Fine. That's why it is pervasive function. Next one is, it is a continuous activity. It takes place throughout the life of the organization. It is a continuous activity as it continues throughout the life of the organization. Fine. Irrespective of people occupying managerial position. So directing is a continuous activity. Fine. They are saying it is continuously going on in the organization, because without directing no employee is motivated to do work according to the work decided by top level management. So directing is a continuous activity, because पूरी लाइफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की होल सोल लाइफ में डायरेक्टिंग प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वाइटल रोल. फाइन. Next one is human factor. Directing function is related to subordinates, and therefore it is related to human factor. Since human factor is complex, you all know that behavior is unpredictable and direction function become important. Every human's behavior in every particular situation is different. People react different in one situation. If we give one situation to 10 people, definitely they all will react different in a different way, so their behavior is unpredictable. So directing functions become important here because it is the wholesale responsibility of superior to understand his subordinate as they are also human and their behavior is unpredictable. Fine. So that he can get to know that whatever is going on in the mind of subordinate, he should understand, and he should understand through their activities also, and he tries to solve that problem. Fine. So that the subordinate can concentrate on their work and they can do their work efficiently. Fourth feature is creative activity. Directing function help in converting plans into performance. They are saying that directing helps in first converting plans into performance. First of all, we have to make plan for particular activity. That activity is to be executed there according to the plan. So without this function, people become inactive and physical resources are meaningless. They are saying until and unless there is no direction, there is no motivation, no communication, supervision, or leadership is there. So, conversion of plans into performance will become more difficult. So, without this function, people become inactive. They are saying if directing is not there, nobody will give direction to another, to his subordinates. Fine. So, it will become inactive. People will become inactive and physical resources are meaningless in this way. So, directing is very creative because it is the responsibility of the superior to convert the plans into performance, or we can say convert the plans into action. Fine. So without directing function, people will become inactive, people will not be active towards their work, and they will not be honest towards their work, and physical resources are meaningless. They will be meaningless. There will be no use of resources if there are no people to use that, if there is nobody to motivate them, if there is nobody to direct them. So directing is a creative activity. Fifth one is executive function. Directing function is carried out by all the managers and executives at all the level. Throughout the working of an enterprise, a subordinate receives instructions from his superior only. See, it is said that a subordinate get instructions from his superior, as I told you next last points as well. So directing function carried out by all the managers and executives at all levels. It is not said that it is to be done at one level only. So throughout the life of the enterprise, throughout the working of an enterprise, it is compulsory that subordinate receives instruction from his superior only. If the instructions are given from the top management, definitely it will give its instructions to the middle level management. And if instructions are given to the lower management, definitely middle level management is responsible for that. So it is the function carried out by all the managers and executives at all levels throughout the working of an enterprise. Fine. So directing is an executive function as well. So directing initiates action because while other functions of management prepare a setting for action, directing initiates action in the organization. Directing takes place at every level of management. Every manager from top level to supervisor perform function of directing. So there should be superior subordinate relations exist. Directing is a continuous process. It is a continuous process as well. It is continuously going on in the whole life of organization, and it flows from top to bottom. So directing initiates action. Apart from these characteristics, we should also take these characteristics in consideration. Initiates action, while other function of management prepare a setting for action, directing initiates action in the organization. So it is an executive function. Second one is it takes place at every level of management. Every manager from top executive to supervisor performs the function of directing. So directing takes place at every level of management. Because every manager from top executive to supervisor performs the function of directing. So it takes place wherever superior subordinate relations exist. Fine. So it initiates action. Second one is it takes place at every level of management. Third one is it is a continuous process. Directing is a continuous process because it takes place throughout the life of the organization, irrespective of people occupying managerial position. So it is a continuous process. They are because they are saying it is continuously going on. Whether a top level management gives instruction to middle level, whether middle level is giving instructions to lower level. Fine. So it is a continuous process. It is going on in the organization. Fine. To achieve the objectives of the organization. So everybody is busy in the organization to do directing towards the achievement of the objectives, so that their objective should be clearly achieved, and it flows from top to bottom. Directing is first initiated at top level and then flows to bottom through organizational hierarchy. So it means that every manager can direct his immediate subordinate and take instruction from his immediate boss. So it depends upon both the parties whether it is superior or the subordinate that they are doing their work honestly. That subordinate is taking instructions from the superior, and superior is giving instructions to his subordinate as well. So it flows from top to bottom. Fine. So these are the characteristics of directing. We should also understand without the directing, no organization is successful, because through directing, managers not only tell the people in the organization as to what they should do, when they should do, and how they should do, but also see their instructions are implemented in a proper perspective or note. So it flows from top to bottom, and it is a continuous process that is going continuously in the organization to achieve the goal of the organizations. Fine. So till now we have done directing, its elements and its characteristics. Tomorrow we shall study about importance of directing. So your homework is you have to revise this topic, note down in your notebook, fair notebook. And one more thing, whatever the points are there, you have to do write it in your notebook in your own language, so that you can prepare notes as well in exam time. It will be easy for you to revise that topics. Fine.